And good morning, everybody. Happy Friday to you. Sorry I haven't been around this week, but it's weird times. It's distressing times right now in our country, and I have been just wrestling with how to even deal with it. And there's just no easy answer. There's no way to deal with it except to address it and the problem seems to be that there are certain people who have either forgotten or just chosen not to remember that human beings are all equal, and no human being deserves to be subjugated, demeaned, dominated, as some people have put it, by any other human beings. And it doesn't matter what your gender is, what your skin color is, whether you were born in this country or you came here from somewhere else. The basic truth of our humanity is that we all have inherent worth as humans. And if you cannot respect that, if you cannot grasp that, if you continually enact and support policies that disregard that basic fact of our existence, then you are part of the problem. And for so many people, it is a willful blindness that they have chosen. And there's no excuse for that. The time for justification and equivocation is over. You either recognize everybody's basic humanity and their right to exist as human beings, and not just exist, but to thrive as human beings, or you are part of the problem. You either come out and state your support of your fellow man, your fellow woman, your fellow people on this planet, or you are part of the problem. And make no mistake, history will remember you for what you say and what you don't say, for what you do and what you do not do. And we don't need, we, meaning the people who recognize our brothers and sisters' essential, inherent humanity and the rights that go along with being a human being on this planet. We don't need violence to achieve our ends. We will vote those who do not recognize everyone's basic humanity out of office. We will enact legislation that will defang those institutions who have chosen to repress and oppress their fellow citizens of this world. And not just here in the United States, but all over the world. We, the people of this country and many other countries, we won't stop. We can't and we won't until this is corrected. We'll get there. It's going to take effort. It's going to take a lot of learning for all of us who are not people of color to understand better what our fellow brothers and sisters are going through. And as long as we speak up and we vote people into offices, into positions of authority, who understand the essential truth of what it means to be a human being on this planet, we'll get there. It will happen. Because we're a determined bunch when we put our mind to it. So, I didn't expect to go off on a soapbox rant here. So let's go ahead and get to something I know even less about than the motivations of those who hate, and that's cooking, because I'm very bad at cooking. But much as with anything else in life, you just have to work at it. You have to practice it, and you will get better at it. So today, for you, I'm going to attempt on camera to make a spin on French bread pizza, but not using French bread. It's kind of a weird recipe. Sean's teasing me about my comments earlier. Yeah. I'm sure people are going to unfollow me after this. That's okay. Better that they do it, because I don't have any place for them here. Anyway, sorry. Getting back to food. This recipe is from allrecipes.com. It's and I've modified it a little bit to kind of suit my own palate. But the first thing we're going to do for this is to make a pesto. So we're not using traditional pizza sauce. We're using a tomato pesto, and it sounded just amazing to me. So yeah, I'll shut up now and let's go over to the prep camera, and we'll take a look at what we need. So we've got a lot of stuff going on here to make this pesto. I'm using the food processor, food processor, and I'm going to squeak. So we're using 1 cup of sun-dried tomatoes, and again, wish you could smell this. It smells amazing. We also have 1/3 cup of almonds. Now these are dry roasted, but I made a mistake. I got dry roasted salted almonds, and that was, I'm supposed to grab unsalted, so I'm going to use them because they're all I have, and we'll just have to see how this goes here. We've got 2 to 3 cloves of garlic, and you know what garlic looks like. I don't know why I'm showing you that. The recipe also called for fresh rosemary. I forgot to take my list when I went shopping, so I did not get fresh rosemary. So this is 1 teaspoon of dried rosemary, because I guess it's not a 1-to-1 conversion. So if you're using dried spices, it's a lot less than if you use fresh, I think is how it goes. And then you've got half a teaspoon of kosher salt, 1/4 teaspoon of cracked black pepper, and half a teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes. The recipe says that those are optional. I do like a little spice in my life. And then you've got 3/4 of a cup of extra virgin olive oil. So I am going to put all of this stuff into my food processor bowl. So we'll put in the almonds, sun-dried tomatoes, all the salt and stuff, and the rosemary, and the garlic. Don't forget the garlic, Kim. And then, last but not least, the oil. And it says to just put all the ingredients in at one time. So there we go. Put the lid on the food processor here. Put that in so we don't make a mess. And then it just says pulse to combine or, process. Oh, you can't see what's going on. There we go. Let's take a look and see what it looks like. I've never made pesto before, so I'm not sure what it's supposed to look like. I think that looks pretty good. I mean, it looks like it's thick and spreadable. I don't know, what do you guys think? I think it looks pretty decent. Smells amazing. I wish you guys could smell this right now. Yeah, I don't think I want to over process this. I'll do it a little bit more, I guess, just for the heck of it. All right, I think that looks good. So I'm going to, what am I going to do? I'm going to think about this before I make a huge mess, because I think I need something to pour all of that into. I didn't think of that, because I'm not firing on all cylinders today. So I guess let's go ahead and I will use my favorite orange bowl with the pour spout. There we go. And then I'll just pour this out. Oh my God, this smells amazing. I love tomato. I love tomato. Tomato, 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 tomato. Tomatoes are the best. I feel bad for people who can't eat them for any reason. Oh my gosh. Yes, absolutely. I am excited for this. Okay, so now I've got all that stuff. Oh, hi, Holly. Good to see you. I'm glad you think it looks delicious. Yeah, I think it's pretty fun. I'm really excited. Good morning, Pizza Man. Oh, that's funny. Well, thank you, Holly. I appreciate that. And yeah, I do agree. Tastes amazing. Tomato pesto is odd, but I was really intrigued by this. I was really intrigued by this. So, okay, so the next part, we've made the pesto, which is going to be the foundation of all of this, right? The next part we need to do is, it's not pizza to me if it doesn't have pepperoni on it. So, let me pull up the recipe here for the second part. This is actually two different recipes. The tomato pesto recipe is on one site, and then the other one is actually is on allrecipes.com. So let me pull up the other recipe now for the actual pizza. And this recipe is for what they're calling a grilled Margherita pepperoni on focaccia. I'm not making a margherita pizza, I don't think, because there's no mozzarella in it. And I'm not using focaccia. I am instead using the leftover sourdough sandwich rolls that I used for my French dip episode. So if you haven't seen that, I'll link to it down below. That turned out amazing. I was so happy with how that turned out. So yeah, I wanted to use up this bread before it went bad. And it's just it's a nice, soft bread, which I think is perfect for a pizza application, because why not? But before we get there, got to fry up the pepperoni, and I'm just using what I could find at the store, which is Hormel. Let's see here. Oh, okay, I guess this is supposed to be a resealable package. Most of the time when I open these resealable packages, I can never get them sealed up again, but we'll try it, see what's going on here. There we go. Okay. So now, let's go ahead and fry up some pepperoni. Okay. I'm just making one sandwich. So I think that's probably going to be good for the size of sandwich I'm making. I don't want to have too much. And I just have this on, the low end of medium heat. And the recipe says to fry this up for about 2 to 3 minutes on a side. So go ahead and do that. In the meantime, I'd like to know how everybody out there is doing right now. I mean, it was bad enough when we were just thinking about COVID-19, but there's so much going on. How are you doing? How are you holding up? What are you doing to keep yourself occupied, to make sense of it all, to keep your sanity? It's always interesting to me. And also, if you're new here, yes, you might not have seen earlier, I was able to put comments up on the screen. I can see your comments. I always love to know where people are watching from, because honestly, that is one of my favorite parts of the internet, is the fact that people from all over the world can talk to each other and meet each other. It's amazing. It's truly amazing to me that we can do that. It's the best part about technology. Well, one of them. I also happen to think that technology has a lot to offer us in the field of science and health. Health. Technology, science, health, it all goes together very well. We are so lucky in so many ways to live in the age that we do. There's a lot of work to be done in a lot of areas, especially socially. But we truly live in amazing times in other respects. So, okay, it's starting to smell like pepperoni here. Friend Sean says, unaffected so far, angry at times, but since I have the attention span of a hummingbird on crack, I get distracted easily. It's probably healthy that you're able to be distracted easily. For me, sometimes it's a little bit more difficult for my brain to shut off and for me not to just become completely depressed and hopeless feeling. But, you know. All right, so let's take these pepperonis out, and I'm putting them on a paper towel just so I can kind of blot them and get some of the excess pepperoni juices off of them. Okay, killed the heat there. Let me go ahead and this over here. I can move my, everything's so oily. I mean, it's a full cup of extra virgin olive oil, so that's going to be fun trying to wash that food processor stuff. So here we go. Here is our pepperoni. Just kind of blotted it. It's pretty crunchy now. It's good. Doesn't look too bad, right? I mean, you know, it's Hormel pepperoni. What do you want? So we've got that, and now let's go ahead and prepare our sandwich portion. And this is really easy. You can toast the bread ahead of time if you like that. Oh my. Okay, that roll kind of fumbled. I'm gonna use a different one here. I'll use that for something else later on today, but I might actually need to, okay, that's better. So it says now that I need to lay the pepperoni and the cheese on the bottom slices. So I am going to use the provolone again that I'd used in the God, what recipe did I use provolone in earlier this week or last week? I don't remember now. Obviously, I have provolone on hand for something. So I'll just put a couple slices on the bottom part of the roll. And I will then put, you know what? I'm going to put one more. This is a lot of pepperoni. I'm going to put a little bit more cheese on top of this. What? No, I'm not eating. I'm not eating any crunchy pepperoni right now. Okay, so now I just need to put this in the oven just long enough for the cheese and then, to melt over the pepperoni. I've got my oven set to 350, and I'm just going to leave it in long enough for the cheese to melt. I don't want to, set anything on fire or anything. So I've got the light on in the oven thing there. But yeah, this is really just a quick way to potentially satisfy a pizza craving. It's not quite pizza, but it's kind of a fun spin on it, I think. I like it. I'm excited for it. Really need to start eating a little bit more carefully because I'm starting to get too big for my jeans again, and I'm not happy about that. So, but that's okay. I'm still going to do these cooking segments if I, behave myself the rest of the day. I should be okay. Okay, it's starting to melt. Oh, this is good. Holly says you can never have enough cheese. That's true. It's definitely true. I like me some cheese. Mac and cheese. Oh, if you are at the store and you happen to see mac and cheese, in the box, by Cracker Barrel, no affiliation with the restaurant chain Cracker Barrel, none at all. That's just the name of it. It's called Cracker Barrel mac and cheese, and it is amazing. It is our new favorite instant, mac and cheese, stovetop mac and cheese. It's really good. Speaking of cheese, getting there. Gonna let it go a little bit longer. You're not supposed to open up the oven as much as I'm opening it up right now, I know, but I'm really paranoid. I don't want things to burn either. Yeah, and there's all sorts of things you can do while you're waiting for your pizza to bake, like appetizer pepperoni. It's got to get eaten sometime, right? Almost. Looking good so far, Sean says. Thank you. Yeah, I have high hopes. So, since I only did one, did I do 2 shows this week? I don't know. I have extra recipes for next week, so get back to a normal schedule on Monday with this. But thanks for your patience. Appreciate it. Okay, I think I could call this good. This provolone does not really melt the same way as other cheeses I've melted before. Oh yeah, okay. And now I need some hot pads to place my very hot pan on. Okay. So there's that. Go back to the prep area here. And let's see. Let's see if I can zoom in here for you. I think that's looking pretty good. I'm glad I put the extra piece of cheese on the top there. And let's kind of scooch this forward a little bit there for you. And now you're supposed to put the pesto on top of it. So let's go ahead and do that, I guess. Oh, this looks good. Okay, so here we go. Some of this are freshly made tomato, almond, rosemary pesto, sun-dried tomatoes, which are amazing, as we have already discussed. This is looking pretty good, I think. I am excited by this. So let's go ahead and top that, and then got to have a cross section, right? And again, in the spirit of no kill like overkill in the kitchen, let's go ahead and slice this with the Uber knife. And I just tore all the foil. That's okay. That's okay, Ken. You're fine. Everything's good. Ooh. Look at that. I think this looks good. I'm gonna grab this one here. It's definitely kind of oily. I definitely don't care. So here we go. This is it. This is our tomato pesto, sun-dried tomato pesto provolone pizza, quote unquote. It smells really good. Let's see how it holds up here. Oh, this is good. This is really good. Karina is against pesto on principle because she is not a fan of pine nuts nor basil. I can take it or leave it. Sun-dried tomato pesto is a whole different thing. This is so good. And the original recipe said to use focaccia. I imagine it's pretty good with focaccia, but I think the tanginess of this sourdough just blends perfectly with the flavor of the tomato tang of the pesto. And then you get the spiciness of the cayenne pepper. And if you think you don't like cayenne pepper and that it's too much for you, I would say add it anyway. Because without it, it would definitely taste very one note. You need that kick, and it's not a punch you in the face spiciness. It's not even a lot of heat, but you can tell that it's there. It gives another dimension to the flavor. It would really be very one note if you didn't have the cayenne pepper flakes in here. Or, I'm sorry, not cayenne, but the crushed red pepper flakes. This is a winner. Love this. This is good. I am glad I made this. And it took no time to do all this. I mean, The thing that took the longest, I think, was pre-measuring all my mise en place for this show. If you're doing this at home, it's going to come together really quick because you're not trying to explain it to an audience while you're doing it. You're just throwing everything together and chopping it up in the processor and quickly frying up your pepperoni. And at first, I was a little iffy about frying the pepperoni until it was crispy, but that was absolutely the right thing to do, because otherwise, with the texture of the soft bread and the oiliness and the softness, if you will, of the pesto, you definitely need that textural contrast that crisping up the pepperoni beforehand really, really does well. It's absolutely important that you do that. Freaking amazing. Love it. Okay, I will post the two original recipes down below, the one for the pesto and the one for the pizza itself, but I'll also make a note of the substitutions I did here. I recommend it. Please try it. It's fun, it's quick, it's tasty. You'll like it. It's not really pizza, but it's good. Anyway, that's it for this week. We are done. Thank you so much for spending your Friday morning with me. I appreciate it. I appreciate all of you. Hope everyone's well. Hope you're staying healthy. Remember, the pandemic has not gone away just because all this other stuff is happening. So be careful, be smart, stay healthy, stay safe. If you have any ideas for recipes you'd like to see me try on here, again, I don't test out any of these beforehand. As I'm cooking things, I'm doing it for the very first time in front of you. So that's what makes it fun. But yeah, let me know what you're thinking on there. Just put it in the comments down below. If you had fun, like, subscribe, all the usual stuff for YouTube and Facebook and Periscope and all that. And yeah, I hope I will see you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend, everybody. And just take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And that's it. I'll talk to you all soon. All right.